The main thing that you take with you is everything that is in this world not tangible. So one can say in this world you have the sense of smelling. You ever held a smell? Or you ever saw how a smell looks? But you all day long smell things. So all these senses that are a little bit above physicality, that's the main thing that stays with you. So you can have the sense of touching, that's because you have a body. But thinking and emotions and all that, that's part of the soul. Besides, that I'll tell you another thing. We see Bechlal in the Torah that there's many explanations that don't really make sense. Because it's talking about Hashem, that Hashem has eyes. Hashem doesn't have eyes. Or it's talking about Hashem that he has a hand, Yad Hashem. Hashem doesn't have a hand. Or it says about Hashem, Machshavotai. Hashem doesn't really have thoughts. But the Torah tells it to us because we have to somehow picture it in our mind. So it has to contract it to a level that we understand. So the same way, this is where it comes very difficult to explain my experience, because it was in a completely different level from what we understand. I just take my memories and use words that we know. So if I say embarrassed, it wasn't the exact same embarrassment what we have here. It's just the word that I can attach to the feeling that is as close as possible to embarrassment. I'm not 100% understand your question, but my father didn't teach me that it's good to steal. He actually taught me it's not good. I chose to go and steal. So I can't blame my father or my education how I behaved. And my mother taught me not to curse, and I still went and cursed. So the thing is, it doesn't matter what somebody teaches you, Hashem gave you common sense. So I guarantee that if you walk in the street, you don't just go and kill somebody because he annoyed you. Or you don't go and smash somebody's car because he said something wrong. That's common sense. If a person does these type of behaviors, it must have some type of a problem in his head. So Hashem put common sense in you. So the same way, I just had the wrong judgment. Why I had to come back and go through all this, that's already what Hashem decides to do. But the thing is that every person can come and say, oh, you know what, why are you holding me accountable? I grew up here and I did this and this, and they told me to do this and that. One can definitely come and hold and say, oh, it's not my fault. But on the other hand, if a person, like I told you before, if a person grew up in the middle of nowhere and really nobody ever told him anything, he can really say, it's not my fault, because I didn't know. But in my particular case, I couldn't say that, because in school in Israel, they teach you things. I just chose not to do it. So each person, first of all, is being looked and judged completely different. But not only in my case, in most cases, most people can say, it's not my fault. Because I'm sure any normal person, their parents teaching them to be a good kid and not to lie and to be honest. The only thing is that, a person goes a little bit far away, and the more you go far away, the more you add more unwanted things. But at the end of the day, each person has common sense. So even the worst person still comes to a situation, and he has common sense who says, okay, this is not nice, this is nice, Most people, when they behave the wrong way, either they want to impress their friends, or either they're under some type of pressure or whatever. I remember when I was like a young kid, if I would go and do something, if it would be probably to impress my friends, or because I had to get something or do something. If I would really think about it, I would be, that's not the right thing to do. This is like what's in our body, like it's our nature. So Hashem put this nature in you that you would tend to go choose something good, not to choose something bad. If a person chooses, you can't come and say it's not fair. You know what I mean? So maybe I didn't understand your question so well, but maybe rephrase it a little bit different.
Perhaps one more thing how can you explain something to us if we can't, brain imagine it? Then what's the point of explaining it? If we can't even, because like you said, it's every person has a limited amount of information that they can possibly even think of. So if we can't can't imagine what the pain that you went through, what everything that you went through, why say it over?
The thing is that, imagine you go now to, I don't know, Six Flags. And you come back and you tell your friend, wow, we had the best day. We went there and there's amazing things to do there. And you want to tell him because you got so excited there, you had such an amazing day, you want to tell your best friend to go there too. So he tells you, well, how does it look? Oh, there was one thing that it goes like this and like this. And he's like, I don't understand what you're saying. And he's like, I can't explain it, but it's amazing. So you can also go and feel it. But you can also go and feel it. The thing is that, no, I'm not telling you to go through the whole process, but the thing is, there's two questions here that I kind of understand what you're saying. One is, how can I explain it? So the only way to explain it is the same way that you experience something amazing, you want to go and tell your best friend or your brother or your father, you want to share it with him, so you use your imagination to tell how it looks. The second question is, why to do it? That's very simple. If you walk down the street and you see a burning house and you hear a person screaming, help, your instinct is to run into this house and to help that person. So when I go and I see a person that is living their life a certain way, their neshama, I can hear their neshama screaming help. So it's my obligation to go and try to tell a person, look, you want to do something like this and like that. Now to come and tell you, oh, this is what happened to me, and now you have to be religious, that doesn't work. That's why I keep my experience to as short as possible. And the message is that I can't really give you what I went through. But if you have some type of understanding, then you see how I was, how I am now. Now, if you would tell me, becoming religious is to sit on the beach all day long and enjoy your life and drink beers and do whatever you want, then I would tell you, oh, that's a nice way to live your life. But when you're looking at the reality of religion, it kind of seems like a very hard life. Now, if you're already living that life, you see the benefit of everything, so you don't see that it's hard or something like that. But if you're looking from this side, being religious is kind of a hard life. You have to wake up early in the morning, you have to pray 3 times a day, every day the same thing. Every day, a whole hour in the morning. It seems like very hard. Every time you put something in your mouth, you have to say a bracha. Every time you have to do every little thing, you have to constantly think what you're doing. So it seems like it's a very hard life. So when you're looking at it from this side and you're saying, this is such a hard life, only a person that saw the truth will actually go to this, to choose this hard life. So which I don't see it as a hard life, I see it as the best thing to do. It might seem to other people like a hard life. But when a person comes and looks at and says, why do you do that? Because I see the benefit of it. I see the benefit of every little thing that you do. And a person doesn't choose to become religious because they're giving him a check at the end of the week. Because he knows that it's the right thing to do. So when you if I'm going to come and tell you every little thing that I remember, it doesn't make any difference. It's like, it does arouses the interest. What's there, what's waiting out there, what's going to happen. But the main point is this. This is how I was, that's why I come with a picture. This is how I was, this is how I now. I chose, from what I saw, I chose to live my life like that. Must be there's something behind it. People don't choose to become fully religious because somebody told them, at the end of the day you're going to get $1,000 check. No, you choose it because you understand and you realize that's the truth. This is the emet. There's something after the life. Every little mitzvah that I do, I get this, I get that. There's a God, there's a soul, there's good things to do. A person chooses to do that only when he understands it. If you don't understand it, then, if you don't understand something, nobody will do anything from understanding. The whole point of coming and saying it, because most people, they do want to hear, and there is at some level I can give over and relate what I felt. But you're right, I can't really tell you what I experienced. The more that I can tell you is that this is the life that I chose as a result from the experience. So when a person that has his head on his shoulder says, okay, Let me see what's behind it. There must be something. When I wasn't religious, I didn't believe in God in anything. But I didn't believe that we only live here for 70, 80 years and that's it. I could not accept that you live 70 years, they put you in the ground and the story's over. I was like, there must be something out there. I believed in aliens and all sorts of weird things. But I for sure didn't believe in Hashem or mitzvot, but I couldn't accept that this world is so limited. I was like, must be something beyond it. So the whole point is to direct this curiosity to the right place.